So 14 here, again, still performing the indicated operation and expressing in lowest terms. We know, hopefully by now, that when dealing with fractions and adding and subtracting fractions particularly, we need a common denominator in order to combine them into one single term. Well, we've already been given a common denominator, haven't we? So 12, 13, now 14, a lot of the work has been done for us. We know that if we've been given a common denominator, that common denominator can just move straight over into the, hopefully, maybe the final answer or one or two steps away, depending on what our numerator is. But we're going to go ahead and just move that denominator over because it is common. So x squared plus 4x minus 12. And that gives us now permission that we have a common denominator to perform the indicated operation with our numerator. So we have 3x plus 22. So 3x plus 22 minus, and now this is where you have to be careful because since we're subtracting here, you really have to kind of think about this numerator as being in parentheses. And what happens when there's a minus or subtraction sign in front of a set of parentheses? Well, you have to distribute that negative through your parentheses, don't you? So we end up with minus x, negative times positive x gives us that minus x, and now negative times a positive 10 gives us that minus 10. Now we can go ahead and look in our numerator, see if anything combines, and I see a couple things that combine. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we have 3x and a minus x. Well, 3x minus x, that gives us 2x. And we have a positive 22 minus 10. Well, that gives us a plus 12, doesn't it? Over the common denominator, x squared plus 4x minus 12. Right, we just went down here. And let's see, let's go ahead and factor the numerator and denominator and see what we get, right? You might be tempted to stop here, but I think we can go ahead and take it one step further. So, looking at the numerator, what's our GCF here? Well, it looks like we can pull out a 2. So if we take out a 2, we're left with x plus 6. And now in the denominator, well, there's no GCF here, and we're working with 3 terms, so we know that that trinomial is going to break into 2 binomials. We're dealing with x, so let's break that x up. And we're going to use the simplified version of scissors or the simplified version of AC because the coefficient in front of our squared here is a 1. So we're really just looking for factors of 12 that subtract to positive 4. So I think we're going to be dealing with a plus 6 and a minus 2. And you can see, now that we've factored both the numerator and denominator, well, x plus 6, gone. So what are we left with? Well, we're just left with, in our numerator, the only thing left is a 2. What are we left with in the denominator? Well, the only thing left is that x minus 2, and there we have it. So when we combine or try to express this in lowest terms, again, don't be tempted to stop here. Try to factor all the way through because you might end up revealing some things that can be canceled. So again, number 14, a lot of the work was done for us because we already had a common denominator. And so we just moved that common denominator over. And as soon as we did that, that gives us permission to deal with our numerator. And when you're subtracting, just be sure to distribute that minus sign through. All right, let's take a look at number 15. I'll see you there.